Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Chulu's Comics, and I'm bringing you a quick little vid. So last month I got the chance to go to Sacramento Comic Con and meet the man, the myth, the legend, none other than Mr. Chris Claremont. That's why I'm showcasing in the back here my giant size X-Men #1 poster. Chris Claremont's really he's the author that really got me into reading X-Men as a kid. Um, Once I picked up X-Men books, as a kid, I didn't have the most money, so I had to pare down what I was buying back then. So, I was kind of all over the place. I really enjoyed collecting Flash at the time. There was some Spidey books that I used to collect. I was kind of all over the place with my collecting. But once I got my hands on X-Men, there was no turning back for me. It was all X-Men, everything, all Wolverine, everything. Um, so when I heard that Claremont was gonna be there, I was like, "Yo, I gotta go. I'm gonna be there. Need to get some books signed." So got about 11 books to show real quick. And let's start. Let's start here. So first book I'm gonna show, X-Men #139. This is the first appearance of Heather Hudson. This is the issue where Kitty Pryde officially joins the X-Men, and Wolverine gets his new costume. One of my favorite costumes of his, that brown and orange costume. And it came back in 8.0, which is it's a respectable 8.0, especially for a book that was printed in 1980. Chris likes to sign across the title, so that's where he signed. Next, I have a key book. It's a key book for my collection. Chris signed there in silver, and this is none other than Wolverine #1. This story is continued from DC Comics Presents #10, and we also have back cover pinup done by John Byrne. That's a great cover there. Back cover pin art. I believe the front is done by Buscema. This one came back at 7.5, which I wish I could upgrade at some point, but the lucky thing is I got a few more of the same book, Wolverine #1, because that's my dude, right? I'm gonna have multiple copies. One came back at 9.0. This is probably the best copy of the three, and it's also a newsstand edition, which, to be honest, I would have preferred if this was swapped. I like the Spidey instead of. I know everybody wants a newsstand. They're highly sought after. They're a lot more. What's the word? They're harder to find. So I get it, but personally, I like seeing Spidey. I like seeing Spidey's face as opposed to a board code. But either way, I'm still happy with the way that came out. And the reason I have so many copies of this, I mean, it's my favorite character. It's a key book for my character. And I got 3 kids, so every kid's gonna get a copy. Every time I go see, um, like a famous author or an artist, I try to get every kid a copy of a signed book for them, a key book. It's just something I try to do for my kids. They don't always come back with the best grades, but it's the memories. For me, it's the memories. Next, Uncanny X-Men #141. One of my favorite covers. It's just such an iconic cover. It's a cover that's been swiped so many times, over and over, time and time again. Chris signed up there in bronze, came back in 8.5, and it's the beginning of the infamous Days of Future Past storyline. Great storyline if you haven't read it, by the way. And I do have the complete set. Chris signed there. Uncanny X-Men #142 came back at 7.0. I mean, I'll be honest. I wish it came back a little bit higher. I wish they both came back a higher grade. But they are what they are. And to be honest, it's for the PC, so it's all good. I got 2, and they both present really well. So I got to complete the storyline and got it signed. Got to meet the man, and now I get to display these in my little man cave. So next, another couple of iconic covers. Not, I guess, not like huge keys in any sense of the word, but still just books that are important to me, books that I really like. Uncanny X-Men #234. Chris signed there. It is the first appearance apparently of Madeline Pryor as the Goblin Queen. And this one came back in 9.4. So not in bad shape, and it's another one of those iconic covers for me. Speaking of iconic covers, Uncanny X-Men #268. I love this book. I really like seeing this book. So Chris signed here in silver. Probably should have picked a different color, but either way, not tripping. And it came back a 9.4. So, I can't be mad at that. I can't be mad at that at all. All right. Getting a lot of glare. Sorry about that, you guys. Let me see if I can fix that a little bit on the next one, because the next couple books are some good ones. All right. Talking about first appearances and key books. I'll show the lesser of the two first. This is X-Men Annual number 14, signed by Chris Claremont right across the chest there. And this is the first official published appearance of Gambit. And that's how they actually have it noted there. It's the first published appearance of Gambit. Because, and that one came back at 6.0. And you know what? It's a dollar bin book that I ended up picking up like out of just some random bin. So for $1, I wasn't going to pass it up. And just to have it, I'm cool with it. It's not a big deal. Because on the flip side of that, I got my Uncanny XMen 266, signed by Chris Ryder there. And this is the first appearance of Gambit in continuity. So to be able to have the pair, someday I can always upgrade that one. But again, just to be able to have the pair, I'm cool. I'm happy with that, especially with this to come back at a 9.6. Actually, you know what? And I'll leave that up because I got one last book to show off. I thought I said I had 10, but you know what? Actually, I have 11 books to show. Got one last book to show, and I might have shown it before, but it's also another book that I got signed there by Chris Claremont. You want to talk about a key appearance? You want to talk about a key book? This is Iron Fist number 14. First appearance of this guy right here, Sabretooth. And it came back a 9.8. So for me, this is what makes the whole lot right there. And the funny thing is, when I originally bought this book, I bought this as a slapped book, and it was a 9.4. So I took my time with it. I really cleaned it, and I pressed it myself. And I was amazed to see it come back a 9.8. And it's a huge grade bump, especially for a book that was printed in 1977. These other books, just time was a factor, and I didn't get a chance to focus on those as much. This was the one that I wanted to work on the most. And you know what? I'm glad it paid off. It worked. So that's my little haul, you guys. That's what I wanted to show off. If you guys have questions, let me know. Let me know what's up. Shoot me a comment. And until I see you next time, you already know who it is. It's Cholula's Comics. Keep stacking hella comics.